Um, First of all, why did you decide to run for for city mayor?
Well, I've been in politics now, 28 years. I was a councillor before, and a board of control member, and then a member of parliament, minister, and so when I was finished in Ottawa, I wanted to come back and I wanted to help my city, and I thought that running for mayor would be the best way I could to bring the connections, the networks, the experience, federal, provincial, and the municipal experience that I had before, that it would work out fairly well. And I think it did.
Where did you grow up?
Well, I was born in Italy, in Calabria, vicino Cosenza. And I came to Canada as a 4-year-old, along with my 2 sisters and my mother and father, and we moved to Timmins, Ontario. Now, I had never seen snow in Calabria ever, right? Neither had my family. When we arrived in April 27th, 1954, in Timmins, Ontario, like London, there was a lot of snow. And so that was my first experience from Italy to Canada. A lot of snow, very, very cold, minus 30 or minus 40, I think it was at the time. So, but that's what I grew up in Timmins, Ontario, until I was about 18 years old, and then came to Kitchener and then to London.
London. What's the best book you have ever read, and why do you like it so much?
God, the best book that I ever read.
You have ever read.
I've read so many, and the best book. Well, it'll have to be a political book, only because I'm a politician, right? And it was one written by, believe it or not, the Prime Minister that I worked with for a long time. It was Right from the Heart by Jean Chrétien. And Jean Chrétien was a consummate politician, but to understand how he was the 17th child of a family, 17th. And all of his brothers and sisters were doctors and lawyers and so on. And he tells the story as an example of how, from the time that he, around the kitchen table, had to fight for every little piece of bread, that's how he learned how to survive politically and how to essentially become what he became. So I think it's a simple little book, but it touches perhaps my life in a certain way. Not because I had 16 brothers or sisters, but because as an immigrant, we all have some trials, tribulations, barriers. And when I think back, I'll just give you a short little story, is that when we came to Timmins, Ontario, and we couldn't speak the language, obviously. We had an uncle and a grandfather who might have been there a few months before, but English obviously was very foreign to us. That one of the friends of the family told us that we had been eating dog food for the first 3 days that we were in Timmins. Why? Because the word carne in Italian is meat. Well, my mother didn't know whether or not it was dog meat or whatever the case may be. If I can recollect, it wasn't all that bad because I didn't get sick or anything else. But just to give you an example about the simple little challenges that I'm sure the people from when they, El Salvador, or Colombia, or Mexico, or any new immigrant comes to a new country, new culture, new language, sort of is touched by all kinds of different things, right?
Interesting you mentioned that. What is the best part of being mayor of London?
People. I've learned that you're not in politics unless you love people. I love people. I love meeting them. I love being with them. I love listening to them. I love working with them. You have to love people. And because I'm an immigrant myself, I appreciate the incredible diversity of this country and the diversity of our city, and I think that that's important. Because I just love, and I've been to most countries of the world. I've been to Colombia, I've been to El Salvador, I've been to Mexico, I've been, you name it, I've been there. I've met the presidents of practically all of those countries, and especially in Latin America, because I was the Minister of Labor and Housing, and as you know, Canada does a lot with Latin American countries as the sort of godfather to them at the United Nations as to doing something. So I enjoyed representing them. And as the chair of citizenship and immigration for the country, for Canada, for 4 years, I got to visit a lot of countries where, in fact, our immigrants and our refugees would come from. And as an MP for 18 years, I don't know how many people from El Salvador, Colombia, Mexico, people from all over the world that I helped settle here. That's because I have a great appreciation from where they come from, some of their trials and some of their challenges and so on.
Very interesting. What is the most challenging aspect of being an agent?
Trying to keep people happy, the majority of people happy. I mean, you try your best, you try and make the best decisions. That's the biggest challenge, obviously. And the fact is that you can't be in 2 places or 3 places at one time. And I appreciate the fact that everybody wants me to come to a meeting, to come to their banquets, to come to their weddings, to come to their parties, to come to wherever. And believe me, as I said, I love people. I love being there. But unfortunately, you get frustrated because you can't be everywhere at the same time. And so I hate to disappoint people, but we have to sort of manage it that I'll be able to get throughout the whole community in the next 4 years, obviously. So.
What do you like to do for fun?
I'm a musician. I'm a drummer. My favorite band is Santana, Carlos Santana. I saw him back in 1967 or 1968 when I was on the road. After my first year of university for engineering, I didn't think I would like engineering, so I went on the road with 6 other guys from Timmins, Ontario. I had been playing in bands when I was a young child in my high school band, in a polka band, so I went on the road and I played with a great group, and we did all kinds of things, including stuff from Julio Iglesias to you name it, to Santana, to Blood, Sweat and Tears. And so I'm a drummer. Music is my passion, my love. I can't sing. I'm the only Italian who can't sing. No voice. But I love music. And therefore, in fact, when I was at the library, when Alfredo Craxi and his group were there, I got on the congos and the bongos, and I was doing. So I love music. That's my passion. Golf, I love to play golf, but I'm not very good. But that's because I like to be outdoors. And then I do all kinds of other things. But music and golf, being with my grandson is a treat always, as well as my kids and my wife, of course. So
that's true. Would you describe yourself as a dreamer or as a pragmatist? And why?
Oh, I dream a lot. I'm also very pragmatic. But you have to dream. You have to aspire to being something. I aspire for myself, and I've accomplished practically everything that anybody could ever want. From a little immigrant boy of 4 years old to become a minister in the government of Canada, to become the 61st mayor of the city of London, I've done well. But I couldn't have done well without a whole bunch of people helping me. And so, I dream. I dream about what can be. I remember what Kennedy once said, right? You can't know where you're going unless you dream about where you want to go, where you want to bring a city, a country. And so, of course, I dream. But I'm also a pragmatist. And in politics, you have to be pragmatic, because if you become so fixed and idealistic, you may never accomplish. So I'm very pragmatic that sometimes in order to get from here to the dream, you have to take some very pragmatic steps. But the goal and the objective, it's always one of hope, one of dreams, and one of aspiration.
I need to ask you, do you have a credo, do you have a maxim that you try and live by? What is it? Yeah, well, I was asked,
during the campaign, I kept saying that I was going to try to deliver zero tax. And I think I've learned a long time ago and there is that says, it is better to have tried and failed, never tried at all.
What issues confronting London right now,